Fashion is third most important thing in the world. Freedom and health come before. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk vintage. Vintage and second hand. What is the difference? And we are going to create a few outfits. Today I want to show how we can look modern while purchasing at vintage and second-hand shops. I really want to inspire and raise awareness about this overlooked opportunity. In today's society, people are still very skeptical when it comes to vintage and second-hand. I know some people that they will never step their foot into these kind of shops. What a pity, because they're really missing out on style opportunities. Now, what is the difference between vintage and second-hand? Vintage represents a certain time period. These items are usually older than 20 years. And second-hand only means that items were previously owned, regardless of how old they are. There are many misconceptions about buying vintage and second-hand. For example, these kind of shops are only for people who can't afford new clothes. Then items are of poor quality because they're very old. In contrary, craftsmanship and fabrics were much better back in the days. Vintage and second-hand are dirty and unhygienic. Use your eyes, you can tell which items are worth buying, and plus most of these items already went through dry cleaning. But also many times when I go to regular shops, I find clothes on the floor, dirty, ripped off. It's worse than vintage and second-hand. And also, these clothes was never really washed, so the toxins of the colors are really strong, where secondhand and vintage was probably washed or dry cleaned, and therefore the toxins are a little bit less harsh on our skin. They're outdated and unfashionable. I will try to prove differently today. Vintage and secondhand are time-consuming. This is the only misconception I partly agree with, because to find a little treasure, you will need to dig, and this takes time. But also, when we purchase in regular shops, it's not like we always find something we like. Shopping takes time. Another misconception I heard is that vintage and second-hand items carry negative energy. Why it always have to be negative? It's only clothes, okay? Chill. There are many more misconceptions about vintage and second-hand, but I was never that narrow-minded when it comes to these kind of shops, simply because I love them. And second, I lived in Paris for many years, and in Paris, capital city of fashion, vintage and second-hand is actually considered something that is superior to anything else. You know, chic French woman, she wouldn't actually wear a striped t-shirt, that's a tourist. Chic French woman, she would actually wear all vintage, or at least part of her wardrobe will come from vintage shops. French women create a mood, they don't follow trends. Fashion always reflects something, whether it's gender, race, class, human rights, sexuality. We can see it all through fashion. And vintage fashion really carry that sense of history that new garments can't replicate. So what are the pieces that I will purchase in these kind of shops? In secondhand shop, I will look for men's blazers and women's blazers, shirts, pants, ties, these kind of things. And in vintage shop, I will search for a more unique and special piece, something unusual. I will also be focused on materials like leather, silk, cashmere, wool, all these high quality fabrics. I have great leather pieces from vintage shops. Things I will not purchase at these kind of shops, definitely not shoes, underwear, bikinis, anything very intimate, okay? Even handbags. I find handbags to be very personal. I cannot number enough reasons why it is much better to purchase at vintage and second-hand shops, starting from individuality, sustainability, support small businesses, budget-friendly, revives forgotten fashion, and many more. We can't purchase style, we need to create it. We can definitely purchase a very expensive handbag that everybody else also have. But style, we need to create. Style really reflects our personal taste and creativity. It is not about what we can afford, Never confuse what you have with who you are. I read it somewhere and I like it. We all grow and evolve in life, hopefully. So there will be point in our lives when we will come back home, open the wardrobe and realize that none of these items match our personality anymore. So we will seek for something more classy, refined, and unique that represent our new identity. And these kind of pieces you can find in vintage shops. So today I'm going to style my vintage and secondhand items just because I really want to show how we can still look modern while getting dressed in these kind of shops. But most importantly, I really want to spread awareness about doing something a little bit good for our planet Earth. At the end of the day, it is the only home that we actually have. So please like and subscribe and let's start. The first thing I will search for in secondhand shop is suit. I was so lucky to find pants and blazer that match and create a suit. I actually think this is a set. Believe it or not, this is men's blazer and men's pants. Today, women wear a lot of oversized garments. I'm not a huge fan of excessively oversized pieces, but oversized just enough to give nonchalant feel is always welcome and chic. And these kind of pieces we can find in men's department, which is the first department I go to check when I go to secondhand shop. This is very classy and good looking suit. It is made of 100% wool and the quality really feels high end on the skin. The lining of this suit is just impeccable. Look at this. I can only imagine how much this suit actually cost when it was brand new, but secondhand it cost me 15 bucks for entire suit. I added the tie, which is also secondhand. A loose tie around my neck is one of my favorite ways to accessorize a woman's suit or men's. With classic piece like this, we can express our mood through handbags. So let's say I want you to think this is a very expensive suit. I will add a designer handbag, and with high-end fabric of this suit, this outfit looks and it is high-end, even though most of it come from secondhand shop. Could you tell? Then I could create sexy look with red bag. When you dress classic, red handbag really come handy to styled outfits. Or we can create contemporary look with white structured handbag. I will also switch to white Louboutins in this case. I love charcoal color with white. Matching color of the shoes with bags is not really my thing, but when it works beautifully. Another unusual handbag choice I will pair with the suit is basket bag. I adore this pairing. I find it so French and chic together with summer sandals. It reminds me of Jane Birkin and her basket bag she used to carry everywhere before she created iconic Birkin bag with Hermes. To me, in summer, nonchalance of the suit matched with basket bag, sandals and red lip gives such a dressy casual vibe. There isn't universal way we wear suit. We can create our own mood. Back in the days, wearing suit with sneakers were unacceptable. Today is classic. Full outfit again. Skirt, blouse and belt, everything is vintage and secondhand. While the blouse and the belt are from secondhand shop, I inherited the skirt from my mother. The skirt is made of leather and the quality is truly out of this world. I love when the skirt has pockets, it gives me room to style it in casual way as well, and it adds a touch of nonchalance to the elegant outfit. The colors are extremely fresh and summery because I styled it with open-toe sandals, but we can style these pieces in winter with a coat and boots. For casual summer days, I will style this skirt with a silk blouse and slippers to match the basket bag. This is a very stylish casual outfit that is also very chic. Color scheme is fresh and modern, perfect chic outfit for strolling down the streets, enjoying a little walk while having an ice cream. I would also style it with a denim jacket and a slouchy handbag under my arm. Then classic stilettos in blue, little bit of heel will elevate the denim jacket. This jacket is also vintage. I found it in Paris. It is by brand Rifle. I hope I said that right. It has this detail in the back, which I wasn't firstly into it, but it kinda grew on me. I love the shape of this jacket, so I'm totally in awe how this outfit turned out. Special detail that show modern touch on this outfit is the belt, because studs add a form of drama to this classic skirt. And every time I want to add modern touch to the outfit, I reach for this belt. It's funny how something that is secondhand can actually turn the outfit to be modern. Altogether, I believe this is very chic and modern look. Skirt can be styled in many different ways just by switching shoes and accessories. And I managed to create modern outfits out of vintage and second-hand pieces. Truly amazing. Pencil skirt. How gorgeous is this skirt? I also found it in Paris in a very small vintage shop. This is fantastic combo. Houndstooth pattern paired with top in solid color is where classic meets modern style. Combining this skirt with graphic detail top revives vintage piece in a fresh context. Houndstooth pattern is chic and timeless and so easy to pair with solids, but also with other patterns as well. After I paired it with graphic top, I also paired it with a blue striped shirt, which is coming from, guess where? Secondhand men's department. Yes, that's where you're gonna find me. I love the way these patterns enhance one another without being overpowering. To emphasize blue in the shirt, I paired this outfit with blue sandals and managed to create a very classic and modern outfit. The secret to modernize a vintage piece is to pair it with current or contemporary shoes and handbags. These modern accessories will give the outfit a fresh twist, making the eye notice the uniqueness of the outfit rather than focusing on the age of the garment. The same goes for the clothes themselves. I bought this black top brand new, it is from Maj, so I decided to pair it with this vintage skirt to create a modern and updated look. Graphic detail of the top add contemporary vibe to this classic skirt and fresh tone to unique past. Detail that we often see on vintage garments is this fake hip pocket. And many people wonder why this pocket exists, but it serves purely for decorative purpose. Designers used to add fake pocket flap to create the illusion of curves and to enhance an hourglass shape. Real pocket would add bulk and faux pocket give the look of pocket without the bulge. These kind of small details add personality to the garment. Gorgeous! This pencil skirt is just out of this world. Such a unique piece that I found in Paris. Can you believe I almost decluttered this piece of art a few years back? I was so overwhelmed with my wardrobe that I just wanted to purge, and this skirt was in pile to discard. Thankfully, I called my senses in the last moment and saved it. I would be suffering so much right now if I let it go because I already decluttered one leather skirt by mistake and I'm still in pain. I'm the kind of person that just want to get rid of things. However, gorgeous imprinted flowers in purple color, this shape and silhouette, the pockets, quality, everything about this skirt is simply beautiful. In my recent video, I styled it with same striped shirt from secondhand I just showed you and created this unique and bold look. Everything is vintage and secondhand. But today I felt to style it a little bit more classic and sexy, so this is how it turned out, and I find this outfit to be so unique and special. Because this skirt is making subtle statement, we can go for top in solid color, and little off-shoulder moment is beautiful way to show off your sexiness without excessive exposure, because we don't like that. I want women to look classy and sexy and well dressed, to feel respected, and I aim to inspire them to embrace this. As I mentioned at the beginning of my video, I don't like to purchase vintage and second-hand handbags, but there can be exception, especially when it comes to designer bags. This is the only vintage clutch I own. I purchased it in London, Camden Town, and I just felt to style it today for the purpose of this video. Maybe you will like to find something similar and style it. I still think it looks beautiful, and we can always make exception if we find something gorgeous and worth buying. It is just my personal taste. Sometimes, when you are very lucky, you come across such a special piece. This is one of my favorite vintage pieces. The combination of colors, print, silhouette, everything reminds me of high-end and designer piece, which this actually is. It is a woman designer who stopped producing clothes, but she left behind this awesome piece that I was lucky enough to come across. The style of this jacket completely reminds me of Dolce&Gabbana, especially when I pair it with their distinctive Sicily bag. And I added a lacy bra underneath from La Perla. It is in the same green shade, just to add a subtle and sexy touch to this amazing piece. When I saw these colors, leather pants were just calling my name, making this outfit feel modern and current. Having leather pants in your wardrobe will help you achieve modern outfit with such an ease. I also paired it with miniskirt in denim because green in this jacket is matching dark denim so well, and this creates a little bit of unexpected proportions. It emphasizes an hourglass figure, which is a classic ideal of femininity. The peplum top has always had a place in fashion, although I was never really a huge fan. It made a strong comeback in recent years. This particular top is from the early 2000s, making it now the perfect time to wear it. I also styled it with denim because this piece can really be worn in so many different ways and each one is modern and stylish. The peplum has ability to cinch the waist and add curves which flatters many body types. It really showed tradition and modernity by creating historical design. So would you ever guess this is a vintage jacket? Vintage also includes dead stock. Dead stock is unworn clothes that many times come from the past decades and still have price tags on them. So very precious if you admire fashion in its true essence. As you can see, this jacket has never been worn. I got it brand new with a tag on. It is quite impressive when we think about it, how this piece exists for more than 20 years and it was never worn. I was the first one to wear it. It makes me feel even more special. Vintage femininity with modern aesthetic. Totally dolce&gabbana look. So I hope that you liked my vintage and secondhand garments, and I hope you like how I style them. These pieces are built to last, not to be replaced, and you can be sure that no one else will wear the same thing as you. You can find even more modern garments in vintage and secondhand shops. I chose these type of garments because they represent my style, which is chic, timeless and elegant, but you can create any other type of style that you like using vintage and secondhand shops. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in my next one. Bye!